Hey, it's Ryan with QLZ, back-to-back days here. We're in the green room, and Joe, frontman of Dead, kind enough to chat with us before they hit Louder Than Life this weekend, and a whole bunch of other stuff going on tour within this moment with Dayseeker, with Funeral Portrait. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. Super stoked. Having my coffee, feeling good, feeling all ready to go run around the block. Let's do it.
Appreciate you being on. Dude, I know before even diving really anything else into just, looking at socials and stuff before we kind of get rolling, you guys are pressing all your own merch and everything, or all the tour merch for stuff. Like, when did you guys start doing this? Kind of what made you guys want to do that?
Yeah, it's like, our guitar player Alex mainly does it. Him and the drummer, our drummer Matt. But yeah, like he kind of does that as his like thing at home. Like we love merch, bro. We're like vintage shirt collectors. We're like just huge on merch and love it. So we kind of like to just be in charge of it. It's like you want it done right, you do it yourself kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's just cool, and it's like a DIY kind of mindset that we have, just from just growing up, I guess, in whatever scene we grew up in. And so I guess it's just that, dude. We have our own recording studio that we built in Phoenix too, so we can record our own stuff. And it just kind of, it keeps you attached and puts your touch on everything that comes out in the band. Of course, there's stuff that happens outside of us, but I think a lot of the important stuff, like we touch it. It's like it's close to us.
So it's like, you want to make sure that your fans are getting good quality stuff then too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like we try to print on, like, again, we're like merch nuts. So we try to print on good merch, good shirts. We're not trying to throw out, Gildan and, crappy stuff, whatever, to people. We try to put on good stuff and, all that kind of stuff. Like we try to make it like, what would I want from like the bands that we like, so we try to give that out to people.
And you guys have Louder Than Life this weekend. Interviewed Aaron Paul yesterday from Mice and Men and talked about Louder Than Life, and enjoyed kind of asking him, outside of like playing, what he really looks forward to with these festivals. And I think, the older that you get, like in my case, if you've worked a festival or you've been to one, there's a lot of time that you're there for. And sometimes you've got a 30-minute set, sometimes 45, sometimes an hour. So outside of like playing these massive festivals, and Louder Than Life's a huge one. It's not far. It's about 4.5 hours from us here in Springfield. So
okay,
some of our listeners go every single year. What do you really enjoy about, the festival experience outside of obviously, playing and going out there and tearing it up for fans?
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved festivals. I really have this vivid memory in Phoenix growing up, going to a festival. It was called, like That Damn Fest or something like that. And like that feeling like of just walking out and just, it's like a beautiful day out and there's just everybody's there. There's all these bands. There's all these smells in the air. You can smell the food and, maybe some marijuana or something. You just smell it in the air and everything it just feels alive and it feels vibrant. And that has carried over to every festival we've ever done. We've done all of the Wimmer festivals and it's just a special celebration. Everybody's in a good mood. You run into people you don't get to see all the time. Maybe somebody you haven't seen in years. And it brings all these people together, at least behind the scenes. And then we get to run around and watch all these bands we love, bands that you wouldn't maybe, I don't know. Our days like Avenged Sevenfold and I can't remember who else, like Sleep Token, Mudvayne, whatever, bunch of great bands. And you might not get to see all those bands, just especially with the way we travel and stuff. So, and then, Mudvayne, especially Chad, did vocals on our new record. He's a homie of ours and stuff. So it'd be really fun to see him. I'm just so proud of them. Putting out the new music and it's so good and stuff. So it'll be really fun to just go hang with them. And like I wouldn't, I don't know, you wouldn't randomly stumble into an Avenged Sevenfold show, like if you weren't there maybe or something. So and then a lot of upcoming bands. Throne is playing, who I'm really excited to watch, and there's all kinds of good stuff, and it's just so much fun, dude. That's it. I mean, and then the fact that we get to contribute and be a part of that just is kind of the icing on the cake, frankly. I mean, it's just like, it's so awesome.
I'm finally seeing Mudvayne on Saturday. Finally.
Hell yeah. You never seen him before?
Was that?
You've never seen him before?
I have not. I've seen Hell Yeah 2 or 3 times. Met Hell Yeah years ago when I was part-time in radio in a festival that used to be in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That's gone now with everything. But yeah, dude, I'm finally knocking them off in St. Louis on Saturday night. So I'm pretty fucking stoked for it. It's gonna be awesome. So you said he's on Resent?
Yeah, he's on the we had some awesome features. Chad's on one of the songs. Chris Motionless is on a song, and then Danny Leal from Upon a Burning Body is on a song. So pretty awesome stacked, features with like bands that we really love and people we're friends with, and just really organic, just like, text them up. So, what's up, dude? Hey, we, this song, or I think Chad and I were hanging in Vegas when we were talking about it, and we're like, you want to do something melodic? You want to do something like this, whatever? And I was like, dude, I just want to do like a ripper with you. So the song that he's on is like super heavy, kind of almost like thrashy, like makes me think like older Sepultura feeling a little bit, something like that. It's like pretty heavy song. And, even though he's my friend, he's been my friend. I've known him since 2011 or so. He lived in Phoenix for a long time, so we'd go hang all the time. He's still like a legend to me. Like I remember like hearing LD50 for the first time and just being, loving Mudvayne, and then, becoming friends with him and then having him on a record. Like, what a cool full circle thing. And so yeah, dude, it's super awesome.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you, because I know you guys have put out about 3 or 4 singles. You're going back to like 2024. I know the Until I Die with Chris is on there. Eraser's a song you guys had out. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about the song with Chad. Obviously, Resent is out this Friday. It's just a couple days to go here. Everything on this album, even though Purpose is the track that we're playing right now on QLZ, we've gotten some features and whatnot and getting it out there for our listeners. I mean, everything's been rippers so far. So is this album pretty hard hitting overall? I know we're less than 48 hours to it being out. Kind of what do you want our listeners to know about the album and kind of previewing it?
Yeah, I mean, I like people to just kind of receive it in whatever way they will, ultimately. But yeah, it is high energy. There's definitely like the heaviest stuff that anyone's ever heard from us on here. And then, there's still, a lot of melodic stuff. There's just a mix of everything, like everything that we like,
Mm-hmm.
hip hop, industrial, metalcore, new metal, everything, and mixed hard rock, punk, everything that we like. We mashed it all in here. We really tried to kind of have it, represented in one way or another on the record. And, but just unintentionally, just there's no rules on it. But yeah, we wanted it to be hard hitting. We wanted to kind of make a splash. We've been away for a little while. We kind of went through the behind the scenes industry, business nightmare stuff happened for a while for like a year and a half or 2 years that we were trying to get through. So, we really like want to just come back and make a splash, like kind of reintroduce ourselves, even though it's only been like a couple of years. I guess it's been 4 years since the last record, but we haven't really been out much, but this last year we, touring again and everything. So we're just excited to, just kind of make a splash and just kind of reintroduce ourselves to everybody and just kind of like, get in everybody's face and just let them know that we're still a force to be reckoned with,
How does it feel to have all that stuff behind you? Is it mainly just relief? I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of relief, and I'm sure there's a lot of excitement from you guys, but just what's it feel like for you to have kind of the business? I don't think a lot of people maybe understand.
Yeah,
what bands go through and whatnot. How does it feel overall having that put aside?
It's a breath of fresh air, and it kind of happened, gradually. So it's not like a super sharp kind of feeling or anything. It's like something that happened over time, but it feels really good. And to kind of keep your head down and persevere and just tell yourself, I just got to keep going, to like keep the faith and just to know like, this is what I'm doing. This is, I'm going and I'm going and I'm going, and certain days are rougher than other ones. And this can be applied to anything, really. You just put your head down, you keep walking. As long as you just keep moving, keep walking, you'll get somewhere. It'll come to the other side of it. And that's how it feels. It feels really good. There's still a lot more work to be done. We're not by any means, going to get lazy or anything now, but it feels really good. It feels really good to have overcome something. And I think, just as a human being, it feels good to overcome something, feel productive, feel accomplished. It gives you life that, gives you purpose, gives you feeling. And so it's amazing. Yeah, it really is awesome. And I'm really, to have my best friends in the band with me, we all did it together, and we all, lifted each other up through hard days. And that's how it goes. That's what life is. People around you, you lift them up, they lift you up, and you guys all just, you make it happen.
Yeah. Now you mentioned, being best friends with the guys in the band and whatnot. You guys have not had a whole lot of turnover in the band. It's been a lot of you guys kind of from the start. So what's it been, what's any advice, any keys to kind of, keeping that core of your band together?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just a level of respect and consideration. I think, just like any relationship, any relationship that you have with 3 people, yeah, like everybody's considerate, everybody's a good person. I mean, that's who you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with people that that you're going to flourish with. I think it's important. And I think we all just trust each other to do the right thing, and everybody does their part. Everybody has their superpower. They shine when it's time for them to shine, and that could be the smallest thing that you wouldn't think of, and then they come in and they get it done. So like it really, you know, whatever it is, the teamwork makes the dream work. You know, it really is like that. You know,
absolutely. You know, I mentioned to you, you know, purpose. We've got it on some different features right now for us here on QLZ, getting it introduced with our audience. What do you want our listeners to know about this track? Obviously, it's the third or fourth single you guys have put out here, about the third single, I think, from this year you guys have put out, and getting hard-hitting tune. There's a video out for it. We'll have all that linked WQLZ.com. What do you want our audience to know about this track?
Yeah, first of all, thanks for playing it, man. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was the last song we wrote for the record, which is kind of cool. Like we had the record, we just felt like, you know, let's push ourselves a little bit further. I actually didn't even want to do it. And then the guys were like, come on, dude, just one more song or whatever. And it's so funny because you push and then you make something like this, and we ended up just loving it, and it just felt like it was really, you know, really unique. And it's really, and I think it's really lyrically, to me, it's like a potent track, you know, for a couple reasons. And a lot of times I'll kind of like have like a negative song with a positive, like PMA, positive mental attitude kind of spin on it, like a little bit of hope inside the negativity. So it's kind of like the verses are the negative thing, and the chorus is that relief, that resolve, that shows you, you know, that picks you up, gives you the answer to the problem. And it's just, you know, we're so inundated with, you know, be this person, do this, think this way, you know, and just all day on our phones or on TV or whatever like that, this and that, like, and it's been happening for a long time. But really, like, you know, the point of life to me, I think, is to find your purpose, find the things that lift you up, that your intuition connects with, the things that you love, and just bask and flourish in those things. You know, like, don't be worrying about, oh, I should be this or I should be that or whatever it is. And that's a really, you know, consistent topic in Dead, is just being an individual and grabbing little things and making your own thing, you know, making your own meal with your different ingredients and making it taste how you want. You know, that's what you do with your life. That's what we do with songs. That's what you do with, you know, anything. So it really is about being an individual, being connected with your higher self, your intuition, and, you know, and just living in that and letting that kind of guide you.
That's awesome. I love that. Again, it's a track we get on throughout the week. We're going to get on our Saturday night show to kind of get things rolling here, called New on Q. Again, man, it's the first album from you guys in 4 years. Resent coming out on Friday. I know we talked about the album a little bit. Is there any specific track that sticks out there you guys haven't shared yet? Then I know it's right here around the corner. Any song that you're like, man, I can't wait for, this is the one. Maybe there's one or two that it's like, I know this is the one that I can't wait for people to hear.
Yeah, I really feel that way about most of it. Honestly, I really, because it's like, I want them to hear every song, but yeah, you know, it's really cool when people gravitate toward a certain song. Maybe you wouldn't have thought, you're like, you know, I like that. I didn't know everybody else would like that. So I really like all of it. It's all really special to us. Like, we don't feel like there's any fillers on this. You know, I feel like it's all powerful, and it all kind of is a part of who we are and what we are. The opening cut, though, is called Wasted. And that one was, I think, is really unique and progressive and kind of like sounds pretty different for me. We had this mindset of like writing, we called it future music. And it was like this idea of like writing music that we felt like was maybe something we would write, not today, but maybe in like 3 or 4 or 5 years or something like that. So we tried to kind of just push ourselves to do different things, like maybe a really heavy part I'm going to sing over, but like not sing regularly, like do some weird, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. It's like, it's hard to put it into words, you know, what I was thinking and then what it sounds like. It's like, you might never know, but Wasted is a pretty solid one. It's definitely an angrier one, a heavier one, but I think it's really fresh and unique feeling. I feel that way about almost really the whole record. I've been listening to it a bunch because I stopped listening to it for a while. You get sick of it, put it back on. I'm like, yeah, I'm really proud of this. I really enjoy this. And if I wasn't in this band, I would really like this record. I try to look at it that way, kind of objectively, like pull myself away from it, you know?
Awesome. Well, again, the best thing you can do, listen to it on Friday, so you know what Joe's talking about. When he's trying to explain to you what he means, best thing that you can do is listen to it. So Resent is out on Friday. It's another full-length record from you guys. And Joe, I know you got a bunch of stuff to do today. You leave for tour here in a day or so. Last question I have for you, and it's one I ask everybody when they come on for the first time, especially when people are making albums. Some of your favorite, like, complete albums. So those albums for you, like from start to finish, you don't skip any songs on.
Wow. Well, I think the best album of all time is Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I think that's just the best complete work that ever. Some of the other ones that come to mind, like the first Korn record, is completely perfect for me. It was so inspirational. Nirvana Nevermind was perfect for me. Glassjaw's Worship and Tribute is perfect for me. I could really go on for a while. Like, there's a lot of them. Green Day's Dookie was perfect. Again, kind of in my formative years, like when I was little growing up, a lot of that stuff, from the kind of the mid 90s, all that stuff. And there's probably been a lot more. I wish I would have made a list if you would have told me that, but there's a couple for you at least.
No, that's perfectly fine. This used to be when I was up in Wisconsin before here, it used to be a blog post that everybody would, people would actually write it out and everything. And it was favorite fives, and it was your 5 favorite ones. And we've had some people be like, can I give you more than one? I'm like,
Right.
Absolutely. Like, I think it's harder for people to think of just one than trying to give you a handful of them out there. So,
Yeah.
Joe, dude, best of luck on the road, man. Hope everything goes well. It's you guys in this moment. Dayseeker, Funeral Portrait. I think if you're going to Louder Than Life, go see the guys. I think the closest one to us where you guys are going to stop, I believe it's Kansas City is to us. So if you want to make a trip, go find where the guys are playing. Resent, new album out on Friday. Purpose, the track we're playing right now on QLZ. And Joe, anything I missed there? Anything you want to add on at the very end? I want to make sure our listeners know what you guys are doing. You guys are back, obviously, and anything I missed on that.
No, it's just we've been away for a minute, and thanks everybody for receiving us again, and check out the record. I hope it connects with you, and thanks for having me on. Thank you guys for supporting, man. It's been great hanging with you, talking with you.